Hello friends, welcome to Toy Cafe. I am your host, and in this video we are building this gorgeous little dollhouse kit. This one is a inside and outside kind of kit. You can see a little bit of the outside of the house and a little bit of inside the house. I thought that was really clever. So let's have a look at how it's put together and I'll tell you all about it. So let's get that out of the box as fast as we can. I sped up the video here a little bit, so we'll try to get it out of there super fast. There are the instructions. They were unfortunately all in Chinese, but they had some nice pictures. All the parts came in one bag, so it was a little bit of hunting. And the paper pieces were folded, which is what I like the best, because it's easier to deal with than if they're rolled. And usually they don't put any pictures on the creases. They're good with that, so it works out pretty nice. There was some tricky gluing here though. Here I'm attaching the walls and then attaching the paper because they want you to cover up the seams a little bit with the paper, and that's always a little bit tricky, but it comes out nice when it works well. And here we're making a little tray for the whole thing to sit on. I thought that was a really nice touch. And now we're going to glue the walls down. And I almost put them on backwards, and worse than that, I put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the door, so that stayed there until I dealt with that later on. Little mistake on my part, but it came out okay because there is a threshold in the doorway that covers all that up. That worked out in my favor. Trying to get this window squeezed in here. A lot of these kits won't be cut quite perfectly, and I kind of forced that window in there. Pushed it a little bit too hard. A lot of times you can just sand the pieces a little bit with a piece of sandpaper and it will make them slide right in nice and easy. This kit had a lot of finished pieces and finished molding in it. There's some crown molding for the outside. Doesn't that look nice? I think this kind of thing, the moldings and the bushing boards and all that, always make a kit look really nice, really finished and polished, and almost a little more real. So now we're starting in on a little fireplace. This thing is just adorable. And it has quite a bit of trim as well. Lots of trim throughout this whole kit. And like I said, I really like trim, lace, all those things. They really put a nice finish on a kit. And there we go, a little fancy piece in the middle to finish it off. And now we're making a lamp. And this is one of the more interesting lamps I've ever seen in one of these kits. It was a bit of a pain to put together because you had to put these beads on a wire, loop the wire, cut the wire, and make those little hook shapes, and then attach it to this other flat bead, which was a little bit difficult. Then crimp it all together and do that at least 24 times. Every one of these has a spot, has a piece. And then we had to assemble the rest of the lamp, which had a little metal bead for a base, some plastic ones for the neck and so on. Nothing unusual there. I'm using the LED as the center wire again, like I do with most of my lamps. It makes them look a little more realistic. And it came out really nice, really fancy. I thought that was great. Poke some holes for the wires, get that fireplace in there. The fireplace here in this kit is actually meant to house the music box if you get one that's included. But the handle for the music box, where you turn it to wind it up, is on the other side and is inside this cabinet here that I'm building now. And I don't know how you're supposed to get it open because the doors are glued on. So how do you open up that cabinet to wind the handle? I don't think they thought about that per se. Still, almost everything's there. I guess you just leave the doors off or something. And this little cabinet does look very charming, I think. Except it's a little bit bare without the music box in there. But we'll add some things to the top here. A nice vase with some flowers. Yeah, just jam them in there willy-nilly. Trim them later. I'll add a tray. And this house, I would say, belongs to someone who's an avid gardener. Not a gardener. And they have all kinds of little gardening things throughout the place, inside and out, lots of little plants and things. So definitely someone who likes to garden, someone who reads quite a few books, mostly about gardening, and someone who reads and writes letters, which is a little bit rare nowadays, having a physical letter that you send to someone and you read and Yeah, those are, I remember getting those when I was a kid. Those were always really nice. Get them from relatives. And you sit down and you read it, and then you read it again, and then you read it again. Yeah. So we're adding some shovels, a pail, a little watering can, a wagon wheel. I thought that was charming. One of the spokes is actually missing. The one I got came broken, so I kind of cleaned it up a little bit so it looked like it was gone for a long time. And I think it adds a little bit of charm to the wheel. Makes it a little nicer. I'm not sure what's going on with that chair and the sign on the chair. It doesn't translate very well. It's written in English, but it seems a little nonsensical. I think it's meant to be like, welcome to our place. But the translation didn't come through very nice. Now we're building a little cabinet, a little shelving unit for the outside. I like those drawer fronts down there. The nice taper on those makes them look really good. But we got to fill up this cabinet with all kinds of little doodads and knickknacks. Make it look lived in. Get those books in there. I don't know what's on that book there, but it looks interesting. All those people on the front. Ooh, don't push in the drawer front too far. Mailbox just bursting with mail. I wonder who she is corresponding with, whoever lives in this house. Because there's certainly quite a bit there. She's got a mailbox bursting at the seams. A lot more plants going in there. And little packets of seeds. These were a little bit of a beast to fold up properly, but once they were together, they look really sharp. Now we're building the inside cabinet. This is going to be an armoire or chifforobe if you prefer. And the places where you put all of the wooden pieces was marked on the paper on the back, and that is really convenient. I like that a lot. Really made it easy to do. Some thick pieces here to form the little drawer underneath. Can't actually open it, but it looks great. And a little drawer front with a fancy piece on the front to make it all tie together. Get the coat rod in there. This was clever again too, I thought. That little coat rod, wire on beads. A little dress, some material. I think this person is very handy. They make their own clothes and blankets and things. Some fine perfume and other treasures up at the top there, hidden away. Very nice. Yeah, I really like that cabinet. It really looks fancy. Oh, a little hat stand as well, and a hat box. And an old-timey camera. Yeah, this is definitely someone who likes old-timey stuff for sure. Maybe they're an older person. Maybe a grandma. Yeah, I think it's the house of a grandma who loves the garden and still writes letters to her grandchildren the old-fashioned way, out by hand. Making a little bed here. That headboard was a little bit difficult to put together, but it came out really nice, I thought. Don't really show it because it was so much fiddling. Add a few more items into the interior here and the exterior as well. Mostly these are lights, just so the whole thing is lit up properly. I don't know about a shelf that high outside though. It might lead to problems when the wind comes up. Here are some close views of the house itself. It really is charming. I especially like the little swath of grass there. It makes it feel really homey. It makes it feel like it really is at the outside. You know, you get the whole view of the outside there. Definitely someone who loves the garden out there. There's that wagon wheel again with the missing spoke. A cute little chair. Yeah. I like that crate with the flowers in it. It came together really nice. It didn't look like much in the pictures, but afterwards it was really sharp. And here we are, all lit up at night. Yeah, that little lamp on the shelf over there adds a nice ambience outside, but it's the fancy lamp inside that's really the star of the show here when you turn out the lights. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? Also notice how close the bed is to the fireplace. I'm not sure how safe that is. You'll see that a lot in kits. They'll try to cram a lot of things in together and things get a little crowded, but I like it. It makes it feel a little more special. And there's the inside now. Definitely looks very homey, very nice. And we got the open letter there on the bed. She was sitting there just minutes ago reading that letter before she got up to do something. And has her morning paper. More books all over the place. Pictures of somebody. Maybe those are her grandchildren there. Yeah. Definitely a cute little house, a cute little cottage maybe. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to show some support, please feel free to subscribe or hit that little bell icon there as well. And if you want to show even more support, down in the description are some links to Amazon. If you buy any of the supplies that I use, or anything at all, after clicking one of those links, Amazon will kick back a few cents to me. That'll help me make more of these videos for you. And in the meantime, I want to say thank you for watching, and bye-bye.